No, no, no. It's
I
like the
said we.
girl in It where it's like, have you seen my shoe? And it's like missing her feet or whatever. No. She
That
got
is
no
so
legs.
funny.
No.
I'd be like, "Have you seen my shoes, girls? Have you seen your feet? Where are they at?" Oh my god, you
No.
should be worried about some no
No.
shoes,
No,
Peg
no,
Leg Jane.
no. Hello, ghoul friends. Welcome to the Freaky Femme podcast. I'm Em.
And I'm Doll, and I thought I'd start off by telling you guys I we've been recording for a few hours now, and I just this thought popped in my head because we were both hungry and we got some little snackies. So I just asked Google, does talking burn calories? Yes, talking uses energy that burns calories. So guys, if you are certified yappers, you're going to burn more calories and going to be snatched. So if somebody
Get
tells you
that
to shut
yap
up, say
on.
no, I'm at yeah, if someone tells you to shut up, tell them no, I'm exercising.
Like, I'm working out. I'm getting my
Yeah, I'm
workout
working
in.
out. Just thought that would be good for you guys to know. So we're gonna start off strong with the one called "The Puppy in the Basement." What do you think about that title, Em?
So they lock
What
a
do you
poor puppy in
expect?
the basement, and he's gonna die, and there's gonna be a ghost of the puppy haunting them.
Mm, let's see.
No, it's not
Okay.
it.
No. Okay, you ready?
Okay. Yep, I'm ready.
I don't know if you're ready for this one.
I'm
Okay.
scared.
Mommy told me never to go in the basement, but I wanted to see what was making that noise. It kind of sounded like a puppy, and I wanted to see the puppy. So I opened the basement door and tiptoed down a bit. I didn't see a puppy, and then Mommy yanked me out of there, yanked me out of the basement and yelled at me. Mommy never yelled at me before, and it made
Probably
me
'cause we're going in the
sad.
basement.
It's funny how like you this has to be an adult at this time like saying mommy because they're writing this story like years later. Mommy never yelled at me. She never yelled at me before, and it made me sad, and I cried. Then Mommy told me to never go into the basement again, and she gave me a cookie.
Bribery at its finest.
That made me feel better. So I didn't ask her why there was a boy in the basement making noises like a puppy, or why he had no
Uh-uh.
hands or feet.
Fudge. No. No, 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 no. It's
I
like the
said
girl
we.
in It where it's like, have you seen my shoe? And it's like missing her feet or whatever. No. She
That
got
is
no
so
legs.
funny.
No.
I'd be like, "Have you seen my shoes, girls? Have you seen your feet? Where are they at?" Oh my god, you should be worried about some no shoes,
No,
Peg
no,
Leg Jane.
no.
Now I gotta munch on a cracker real quick because all that yapping took the calories out of me.
Man, we probably burned like 500 calories just then.
ASMR with Doll and M. Jerky ASMR and cracker ASMR. Okay. Nunchucks.
Is that the end of the
Michelle?
story?
Yeah, they're short stories. I never asked why there was a boy making puppy noises in the basement with no hands or feet. That was the end.
Oh my gosh, I can just vision that and I'd be petrified. But he gives
Yeah,
you,
but
your
I would
mom
have a
gives
lot
you
of
a cookie and you're just gonna
cookie.
forget about
Yeah, you write a story about it even, and you act like that's normal.
it.
Yeah. Michelle Young had a strange experience with her 2-year-old daughter. When my daughter was 2, I found her twirling paper towel tubes tied to twine in the air. I asked her what she was
2?
doing. I know. I
That's
asked her what
smart
she was doing.
2-year-old.
She said she was practicing her nunchucks. I was
At 2.
confused. As she had no way of knowing what they were. I asked her what she meant, and she said Adam had told her how to make them and showed her each night how to use them. She went she went on to say that Adam told her to practice because she may need to defend herself someday. I
With
almost freaked
paper
out.
towel tubes?
Yeah, you could just hear her. Yeah, in her room. Okay, she's been doing this each night.
Breaks off.
Yes. It's funny how she's been doing this each night and she's 2 years old and the mom doesn't even know that your 2-year-old daughter's out of bed playing with nunchucks. Okay.
Makeshift
Talking to some random
nunchucks.
person named Adam. Yeah.
It's like, here, use these paper towel rolls. Make yourself some nunchucks.
I almost freaked out, but I asked her what Adam looked like. And she said he was tall, blonde, and had blue eyes. She said, Mommy, you know what he looks like. Yeah. Mommy, you know what he looks like. You know him. He died of a headache. Girl, I'd be throwing that whole kid out the window. Like, this ain't my child. This is a demon possessed. This is some, like, this ain't even human. This ain't no 2-year-old. I had to leave the room. You see, 4 months before she was born, my tall, blonde, blue-eyed martial arts pro friend had died of a brain aneurysm. He at age 27. She has. I'll be like, Adam, where you at? Where you teaching my kid? She had not spoken of him since that day, so I'm not sure if I scared her with the reaction or if she had completed her lessons. Can you imagine? She's just doing all these crazy stills. Like Adam said,
girl,
I was really good.
You got them paper towel nunchucks.
Yeah.
Ain't no one gonna mess with you, girl.
Okay.
Is that the end?
Yep, that's the end.
Or the girl stopped talking about because her mom scared her and was like basically shaming her for telling her what she saw. So then she just stopped talking. And she probably is still taking lessons to this day.
Okay.
Sorry, jerky went down the wrong windpipe.
I begin tucking him into bed, and he tells me, Daddy, check for monsters under my bed. I look underneath his bed for his amusement, and I see him, another him, under the bed, staring back at me, quivering, and whispers, Daddy, there's somebody on my bed. The end.
Oh my gosh.
Scene.
I just got full body chills with that one. I would literally...
That would be terrifying. There's somebody on my bed. Like, who would you believe at that point?
Look under the bed, and then the one on the bed isn't your son. Your son's hiding under the bed.
But who would you believe at that point? I say throw them both out the window.
One underneath. Yeah.
They're both going out the window. Same with the nunchuck kid.
Bad news.
They say don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I say do.
Just throw the baby.
Keep the water, take it to the local priest to make it holy because you got issues if all your kids are be doing these things. The chair. This short tale starts what the heck? Who said this? Okay, I'm just gonna cut that out because this person typed so bad. This short tale begins with a friendly seeming ghost playing with a child. But when you learn the origins of this ghost and just why the ghost is moving the object around the room is quickly a lot creepier. Okay, what even was that? Why did I even read that part? Okay, forget all that. Forget all I just said. Editor, cut that out, aka me. Okay. When my sister, Betsy, and I were kids, our family lived for a while in a charming old farmhouse. We loved exploring the dusty corners and climbing the apple trees in the backyard, but our favorite thing was the ghost. We called her Mother. Brother, isn't there a movie about this called Mama? Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
Mama?
I own it. Not by choice.
Okay.
I got it for an ex and they gave it back to me. They didn't like it, I guess. I thought I heard the banshee. There was like, a car revving or I had to take my
Now we're
headphone
constantly
out 'cause I'm
thinking we hear the banshee.
The banshee.
Yeah, we're constantly going to be thinking we hear the banshee and then looking at the person next to us. It's your time. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's nice knowing you, buddy.
We called her Mother because she seemed so kind and nurturing. Some mornings, Betsy and I will wake up and on each o- and on each of our and on each of our nightstands, we'd find a cup that hadn't been there the night before. Mother had left them there, worried that we'd get thirsty during the night. She just wanted to take care of us. Among the home's original furnishings was an antique wooden chair, which we kept against the back of the wall in the living room. Whenever we were preoccupied watching TV or playing games, Mother would inch the chair forward across the room towards us. Sometimes she managed to move it all the way to the center of the room. We always felt sad putting it back against the wall. Mother just wanted to be near us. Long after we moved out, I found an old newspaper article about the farmhouse's original occupant, a widow. She murdered her 2 children by giving them each a cup of poisoned milk before bed. Then she hung herself. The article included a photo of the farmhouse's living room, with a woman's body hanging from the beam. Beneath her, knocked over, was an old wooden chair placed exactly in the center of the room.
I
Very
think I mentioned
interesting
this
story.
in one of our other podcasts. There's this book. I'm drawing a blank of what it's called right now, but it's actually pretty good. But in the story, it's told from like the little girl's point of view, and she sees Other Mother. And so, she loves Other Mother at first because she does stuff that the mom won't do and all this stuff. And then obviously you find out it's a demon or whatever, and it keeps doing nice stuff for her. And then it's like, will you let me into your heart? And she's always like, no, I'm not going to do that, because, basically saying it wants to possess her or whatever. And like the whole book is like Other Mother following her, and then like bad things start happening because she won't do what it says. But yeah, that's what's making me think of, which is super creepy, because obviously it's a demon.
When you say
just
Other Mother,
following
I
this
think
little
of
girl
Coraline.
around. Yeah.
What's sad about that is that they thought this thing was trying to take care of him the whole time, and she was
She's
just
trying to
basically
kill
keeps
him!
reenacting, giving the milk, giving the cups, and then hanging herself. She self-exited. She self-exited herself.
Self-exited.
She showed herself the door. Okay. Last night, a friend rushed me out of the house to catch the opening act at a local bar's music night. After a few drinks, I realized my phone wasn't in my pocket. I checked the table we were sitting at, the bar, the bathroom, and after no luck, I used my friend's phone to call mine. After 2 rings, someone answered. Gave out a low, raspy giggle. How do you do a low, raspy giggle? Yeah, like how can you giggle and it be low and raspy? Giggle's always like tee. Like, what is he gonna say? Tee. What the heck? You can't do a low, raspy giggle. And hung up. They didn't answer again. I eventually gave it up as a lost cause and headed home. I found my phone laying on my nightstand right where I left it.
No.
That's actually hilarious, though.
St. Patrick's. He's probably sitting there with a lampshade on his head.
Like, I wouldn't think that was such a big deal, because maybe unless you lived completely alone.
You would think that maybe someone broke into your house and was like, and then hangs up. Pretty scary.
Finishing my last cracker. Then we're gonna get into. Okay, so these are just really, really short stories, like 2 sentences. Okay, you ready? Mommy, it literally says mommy. Mommy, the man at the top of the stairs says you should leave. Boring. What do you rate that in? Scale of 1 to 5.
A 2.
I rate a 0. Next. I woke up to hear knocking on glass. At first, I thought it was a window until I heard it come from the mirror again. Mary wants out, bro. I give it 2. Okay. There's nothing like the laughter of a baby, unless it's 1 a.m. and you're home alone.
That one gave me chills. An 8 out of 10.
Okay, I'll give that one a 3.
I am running out that door. Calling
Bye bye.
911. There's a giggling baby in my house. You better get it out.
Girl, it was just a banshee. Don't worry about it. This one's called Awoken by a Lamp. This is said to be a true story, okay? So the person that wrote this story says it's a true story. Like, it's widely known to be the person that said this thinks it's 100% real. Okay. My last semester at a certain college, I was assaulted by a football player for walking where he was trying to drive. Note, he was 325 pounds and I was 120. Bro, how do you know his exact weight? But okay. Well, I guess if he was a football player, he has his weight usually down. Anyway, while unconscious and on the ground, I lived a different life. I met a wonderful young lady. She made my heart skip and my face red. I pursued her for months and dispatched a few jerk boyfriends before. I finally won her over. After 2 years, we got married, and almost immediately she bore me a daughter. I had a great job, and my wife didn't have to work outside the house. Then my daughter was 2, my wife bore me a son. My son was the joy of my life. What about your daughter and your wife? Okay.
Wow.
That hit a nerve right there for me. I would walk into his room every morning before I left to work and dote on him and my daughter.
Wow. Oh.
One day, at least he added his daughter at the end.
Yeah.
One day while sitting on the... Oh yeah, my daughter too, whatever, yeah. To get you guys off my back, whatever, my daughter too. One day while sitting on the couch, I noticed that there perspective of the lamp was odd, like inverted. It was still in 3D, but just wrong. It was a square lamp. It was a square lamp, base red with gold trim, on 4 legs and a white square shade. I was transfixed. I couldn't look away from it. I stayed up all night staring at it. The next morning, I didn't go to walk. Something was just not right about the lamp. I stopped eating. I left the couch only to use the bathroom at first. Soon I stopped that too. I wasn't eating or drinking. I just stared at that stinking lamp for 3 days before my wife got really worried. 3 days to make that potato salad. My wife got really worried. She had someone come and try to talk to me. By this time, my cognizance, how do you say that word? Was breaking. Yeah. Was breaking. He was just going crazy, let's say that. Was breaking, and my wife was freaking out. She took my kids to my mother's house just before I had my epiphany. What is that word?
Epiphany?
Eureka type moment. Yeah, epiphany. The lamp was not real. The house was not real. My wife, my kids, none of that was real. The last 10 years of my life wasn't real. The lamp started to grow wider and deeper. It was still inverted dimensions.
In a loony bin.
It took up my entire perspective, and all I could see was red. I heard voices screaming, all kinds of weird noises. I became aware of my pain. I was in a lot of pain. The first words I said were, "I'm missing teeth." I opened my eyes. I was laying on my back on the sidewalk, surrounded by people that I didn't know. Lots were freaking out. I was completely confused. At one point, a cop scooped me up, walked me across the sidewalk to the grass, and threw me face down in the back of a cop car. I was still confused. I was taken to the hospital by the cop. Seems he didn't want to wait for the ambulance to arrive, and gave a CT scan. I went through about 3 years of horrid depression. I was grieving the loss of my wife and children and dealing with the knowledge that they never existed. I was scared that I was going insane, so I would cry myself to sleep, hoping I would see her in my dreams. I never have, but sometimes I see my son, usually just a glimpse, out of my peripheral vision. He is perpetually 5 years old, and I can never hear what he says. That's sad, but the reason I want to talk on this because I heard that there's a lot of people that are having what they call the lamp dream. And so this kind of concept is like this guy like was knocked out and he lived a whole like separate he went to a different dimension and
had a whole life.
Yeah, and I had a whole life because he was like in between states. You know how we were talking about like in dreams, like you might be in like a different state because you're not dead, you're not
you can have like a whole life story in your dreams.
Yeah,
I've had these. Yeah, and it's like a whole life story and just however
but they're saying that people
asleep.
Yeah, these people are saying like they really believe that it was a life, like, and their mind is like going almost crazy because it feels like it was so real that they've done studies on them. It's like they're going through grief, like they lost their whole family for someone that never even existed.
That is, I think, insane. That's pretty crazy. That really is. That's probably one of the most interesting ones other than the kid with no hands and feet in the basement.
Okay, I'm gonna read you something really funny if I can find it.
I still want to know why they didn't elaborate because he said he was missing teeth and he's on the sidewalk. Like it sounds like he got bugged or something.
He said that he ran into a football player.
Oh, okay.
And he knocked him over. He like knocked him out. So that's where he went into his delusion.
Adult? Is it a teenager?
He said he was in college.
I missed that part. My bad.
About to read you a creepypasta, okay? I think you're really gonna like this one.
It's one of the better than the.
This is one that everybody anybody that ever reads creepypastas, they're gonna recommend you this creepypasta because like it's one that you need to read if you read creepypastas. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
It has I'll end up sending you the visual. Hold on, I'm gonna send you a visual. But you can't look at it until I finish the story.
Okay, I won't.
Okay. I'm gonna start. Smooch, smooch. Okay, that's the sound of someone kissing, okay? Ring, ring. Aw, that's my phone. Sorry, honey. I gotta take this. Hello? What are you doing with my daughter? He hands the phone to the girl. How did your dad get my number? And why is he so mad? She says, no, my dad is dead. He says, then who was phone?
Who was phone?
Who was phone, Em?
I don't get it.
Look at the visual.
I don't get it still.
Okay, let me explain it to you, okay?
Okay.
So, they're smooching or whatever, and then the guy gets a phone call, right?
Okay.
He picks it up, and then the dad of the daughter says, what are you doing with my daughter? Because he's smooching her up.
Yeah.
He hands it to the daughter, and he's like, how did your dad get my phone number, and why is he mad? And she says, no, my dad is dead. So, who was on the phone, basically? But he just says, then who was phone?
Oh.
It's one of the most notorious creepypastas because when people read them, everybody says, you have to read, then like, who is phone? Who is phone? And they'll recommend that for people. It's a prank, basically, because it's one of the worst creepypastas. It's not even really a creepypasta,
we could do that because our dad is dead. We'd have to have someone do it.
We need to reenact this. We're going to reenact this in a short. If it doesn't go viral, then I don't know what will. We have to, okay? We're going to do that. This is
like
now real. This
hey,
is
we'll
epic.
See each other next month for sure.
Yes.
So we can do it then. It'd be so funny.
Oh, I'm going to read you some 2-sentence horror stories, okay? Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay, story 1.
Okay.
There was a picture in my phone of me sleeping. I live alone.
It was a stalker.
1 out of 5.
0 out of 5. I
0.
mean 1.
Well, I meant like for you 1 from 5. Yeah, 0. I say 0 too. Okay,
yeah,
next. My sister says that mommy killed her. Mommy says that I don't have a sister. Boring. Heard it before. 0. Okay. You hear my mom calling you. I hear my no. You hear my mom. Why would I hear your mom? I don't know who your mom is. Why is your mom calling me? Okay. You hear your
Who is
mom
phone?
calling you. Who is phone? I don't have a mom. As you are heading down the stairs, you hear a whisper from the closet saying, "Don't go down there, honey. I heard it too." And we heard that one before. Boring. They just did it in a different way.
Yeah, that one wasn't
The,
even as good either. The
yeah.
scene was not set.
The last thing I saw was my alarm clock flashing, 12:07, before she pushed her long, rotting fingernails through my chest, her other hand muffling my screams. I sat bolted upright, relieved it was only a dream. But as I saw my alarm clock and it read 12:06, I heard my closet door creak open. Okay, if creativity, I'll give that 2. What do you think?
I'd
Because he
say
saw the
maybe
future,
a
but he
3
only.
or 4. But also
I would get mad.
because there's this show, it's on Netflix, and it's these people like telling their family like actual like paranormal stories that happened to them growing up, and no one believed them. It's really sad because like it shows like the parents and stuff like reacting to like what their kids are saying and stuff, and like one of them, it made me think of this story. Um, this kid, it was so sad. So they lived in like this haunted house, and this boy said that this woman, I guess a woman hanged herself in the closet in the room that in the house that they lived at, that they were renting. And he said that the girl would come out of the closet every night and torment him. Like he would go to school and people would report because he'd have like bruises all over him. And the lady tormented him for years and years and years and years. And I guess his mom was like dating an alcoholic guy, and like no one believed him. And it's like so sad. And it's like it's really sad because like the people telling the stories, they get really emotional because they went through that trauma of
Yeah.
like the haunting of it. And he
Yeah.
said that like she would crawl out of the closet and like up on his bed and like beat him up and stuff. But it's like really sad, and I was like, that's what made me think of it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, can you imagine? And then like the parents find out years later that someone committed suicide in the closet in his room, and then that tormented spirit and or demon was like tormenting that poor kid, and he saw what actually happened, or he saw supposedly the person that actually did that thing in the house. And it's just
what if
that
though that it was his dad, and the alcoholic dad, and his mind was trying to protect himself, and he was just inputting it like it was a demon or ghost.
I don't know, but that made me think of it.
Okay, you ready? On to the next one. I can't move, breathe, speak, or hear.
Sleep paralysis.
It's so dark all the time. If I knew I would be this lonely, I would have been cremated instead.
No, that's why I want to be cremated. No.
Isn't that sad? Because imagine if you just... Yeah, but not even if you're buried alive.
After that.
Yeah, what if like you're dead, but then you have to just stay in your resting place?
Oh, that's like another dimension of hell right there. My question to you and our listeners, what do you think would be worse? Being buried, not alive, like buried dead, but like in the story that Doll read, like being just alone, buried in a box in the ground.
For eternity.
Or being a ghost and not being able to communicate with anyone. I feel like I'd rather be out of the box.
I don't want to be in the box.
I am a people watcher. I'll watch for the rest of eternity. Don't put me in a box in the ground though. Like I'm claustrophobic. I cannot do it. Like that sounds way worse. Like the isolation in the.
We're gonna put that as a poll, guys. Don't worry. You can do our poll on Spotify. Which reminds me, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow our Spotify.
Give us 5 stars.
Give us 5 stars. Also, do our poll. Also, share to your friends and family. Also, we're trying to get to 10,000. Boom, 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 boom. Guys, if you want us to go to Ireland, if you want us to go find shadow squatters, if you want us to doing all the big stuff, if you want us
Going to
to
New
get more
Orleans.
jerky and crackers and give you ASMR, guys, you're going to have to like and subscribe, okay? Comment your stories also down below or send them to thefreakyfams@gmail.com. Anyway, on with the creepy stories, the short stories. Okay. I awoke to the sound of the baby monitor crackling with a voice comforting my firstborn child. As I adjusted to a new position, my arm brushed against my wife, sleeping next to me.
No,
They need to hit harder with these, that's all I gotta say.
I don't know, that box being buried.
Yeah, that was
that was the best
for
one.
being
That
in a
one
box. It
definitely
was a
an
little
8.
bit out of the box. I'll give him that.
Yeah, that one was definitely the best so far out of this group of them.
Okay. After struggling desperately to move any part of my paralytic body, I don't know if that's a word,
like
just to alert the doctors that he was conscious before they made the first incision.
No.
He was
that is a
relieved.
Worst fear.
He was relieved to see that one of the nurses had noticed his pupils dilating from the bright light. She leaned in close and whispered that tickled his ear and said, "You think we don't know you're awake?"
No. No.
Girls,
no.
don't. Girls, word of advice. Girls, word of advice. Don't trust doctors. You want to hear what happened to me? I had to go in for a little procedure, okay? And guess what happened to me? One, they put something down my throat. They attached something in my throat. But before they did that, they put an IV in my arm, like they do, you know, in the medical, what are they called?
Are you talking
medical
about
practices? Yeah. You know, they put a needle in your arm and then they put, you know, fluids in your arm. Well, they gave me an IV. And they put it in my arm. And then it kept wiggling and he struggled with it over and over and over again. Excuse me. I'm getting worked up. Over and again. And he's like, "Does it hurt? Does it hurt? Does it hurt?" And then he kept talking to me about, "My fiance hates this. She hates this stuff." Like, don't worry, I got a fiance. Like, talking about, like, bro, I don't care about your fiance. Like, do your job, please. And he's going on about, like, she just hates nurses and she hates doctors and she hates hospitals. And I'm like, why are you gonna marry a nurse then? I'm like, guy, I'm starting to think the more you're talking that you don't have a fiance, because that's what it sounds like to me. Maybe it was so weird.
Fiance that left him.
Like, every word that came out of his mouth was about his fiance. And to put those stickers on my chest and stuff like that, like him talking about that, I was just like, you're making me uncomfortable, not comfortable. Anyways, that's beside the point. He kept messing with it over and over again. He's like, "I think that's good enough. Does it hurt?" Like, "It doesn't hurt." And I'm like, it kind of hurts. And then they were wheeling me off, and I said, "It kind of hurts." Like, what he's like, "It should be okay." Okay. So they wheel me back there. And, like, they're trying to get me to sleep. And then I'm just like, just close your eyes and just go for it, bro. So I try. I wake up, guys. Blood all over my blanket. The IV is now in my hand, in my other arm. Because it must have came out while they were doing their stuff, and then hurry up and put it in my hand while I was still under. And there's blood all. Woke up.
Sue 'em.
Yeah, I want to. Like, that gave me the experience. I was like, I don't trust any doctors. I don't trust any nurses, because this happened to me way too many times. And guess what happens? I guess they ended up having to give me too much. They kept coming in there, shaking me and trying to get me awake, because I was in there for an hour after. She's like, "You have to wake up. You have to wake up. It's been an hour." Like, they were scared, just like they had done all the other times. And I told them before, like, "Do you have any problems with anesthesia?" I said, "They have trouble waking me up. I can tell you that much." Each time they do that, they're like, I tell them, "I have trouble waking up. Like, they can't wake me up." But I think they put too much in me, because I guess they had to hurry up and switch it over and then put it in my hand. And then they probably pumped a lot so I wouldn't wake up while they were doing their stuff.
dang.
Bruh. I
The
knew I
fact that
shouldn't have
they
trusted the
cleaned
the
it up
guy with the
before you
fake
woke up.
fiance. Yeah. They just left the blanket on me. And you know what else the girl tried to do? The nurse comes over there and she's like, "Are you okay?" and all this kind of stuff. And then I'm like, and then she's like, here, she's like helping move the stuff off me. And then I had my socks on, like the socks, you know, they give you to change into.
Uh-huh.
She tried to take them and I grabbed them and she's like, "Oh, you want these?" And I said, "Yeah."
Wow.
So I took my hospital grippy socks so I could be a grippy sock girl. So yeah, that's my horror story. You want to hear a horror story? I got a few.
That's a jump scare in itself, for real.
And that also, they said this, you shouldn't have any pain and everything should be fine. Like if you had pain, like come tell us. I was in so much pain after that procedure. Like I could not eat anything. I could not even swallow. I couldn't hardly breathe. I was in constant pain with that thing on me. I was like, it made me so mad. And then they still haven't got back to me with any of my results.
How long ago was that?
Whenever I told you, however long ago that was. I
When
don't
did
remember.
you
It was
tell
months
me
ago
this?
now.
This is the first time I've heard it.
Well, I told you about me having the thing in my throat.
Yeah, but I didn't know about all the other stuff.
Yeah. But
I'm sorry.
it was
That's
that time.
horrible. I was
Mm.
like, traumatic for
It
me
was a
was having
terrible
to get
experience.
my brain MRI or brain
I looked like I got
scan.
beaten up too. I had ginormous bruise. I guess because I don't know if my vein burst and that's why they did it. It's still kind
They
of red
probably
around
blew
that
a
area.
vein because
Yeah.
that guy don't know what
It
he's
looked
doing.
so gross, and then my hand looked bad too. Anyways,
They did
I went down the
that when I was in labor. The lady blew my vein twice, and then
We'll
she
pass
put
out
it
just
in.
hearing that.
Yeah, and then she did it a third time, and like I had this radiating, horrible pain going up my arm. And I'm like, something's wrong, something wrong. It's like it's burning, and then the lady's like, oh no, and then they come in there and they just rip it out, and then they had to
You're
put
gonna
it
make
in the
me pass
top of
out.
my hand because on
That's what
my
they did to
left
me. That's
side
literally what they did to
because
me.
yeah, the lady kept blowing my vein. And I'm like, I have pretty good veins. Like people say, especially my right arm. Like they can find the vein really easy, and I'm like, I don't know how that lady blew it 3 times.
Ugh, I'd get her fired. I would get her fired, bro.
I didn't have her the
Like
rest
you
of
don't
the
need
time.
to
I
be
think
doing
it was like the
anything
end of her
with
shift,
veins,
and she
girl.
just didn't care, and she was just like, I blew it, I blew it. One
I'm
more
like,
time,
yeah,
I
you
still
blew it. You blew your whole career because you're getting fired and sued. Okay.
Yeah, it was awful.
My daughter won't stop crying and screaming in the middle of the night. I visit
don't
her
have a daughter.
grave.
Oh.
I visit her grave and ask her to stop, but it doesn't help. Why don't you just tell her in your house? If she's screaming in your house, she's not at her grave. Duh, are you dumb? She's not at your grave, she's at the house. So ask her in the house. Problem solved. Okay. Wake up. Oh, sorry. Wake up. Wake up. Okay. I wake up and everything feels wrong. It's too quiet outside. I look out the window and see everyone standing still, looking at my house. It's zombies!
Is that the end of that one?
Yeah. I guess it's... I don't know what that is. It wasn't very good, though. Most of these aren't even good enough to rate, bro. They so far down on the scale, there ain't no numbers for them. Okay. The doctor told me, the amputee, he might experience a phantom limb from time to time. Nobody prepared him for that moment, though, when he felt cold fingers brush against his phantom hand.
They took his hand.
Okay, that's a little bit original. The Banshee's got his hand.
Yeah. She's like, I can't have all of you. I'm gonna take some.
Okay.
What was the coachman, the death coachman's
Oh, yeah.
name?
The death coach.
The Doulahan or came and
Whatever
ripped his limb. And it's like,
growing up with cats and dogs, I got used to the sound of scratching at the door while I slept. Now that I live alone, it is much more unsettling. Girl, who wants in your house? It's probably the phantom hand and phantom arm scratching at your door. Okay. Working the night shift alone tonight, there is a face in the cellar staring at the security camera. Okay. Okay, we're going to 15. We're at 13. This one better be a good one, guys. I woke up to hear knocking on the glass. At first, I thought it was the window. Girl, this is the second one time. We already heard this one. It was coming from the mirror. Bruh. Okay. After working a hard day, I came home to see my girlfriend cuddling, man, they can't spell. I'm just gonna say cuddling our child.
Coddling, maybe?
I did. Maybe. Well, it says, it has an R, like an R at the top. I think they just spelled it. Cuddling our child. I didn't know which was more frightening. Seeing my dead girlfriend in the stillborn child, or knowing that someone broke into my apartment to place them there. What? Okay.
That was a good one.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. We're giving you 4. Hey, why'd you go up to 7? The scale's 1 to 5.
Oh. Okay,
Oh, you think it's that good?
Give it a 4.
Better, yes. We can't give it the, there always might be a better one, so you always got to aim low. You could say 4.9. Okay. The last one. This better be a good one. Number 15. Burger King foot lettuce.
What? Foot lettuce?
Yes, listen. This is the scariest one. Burger King foot lettuce. The last thing you want in your Burger King burger is someone's foot fungus. But as it turns out, that might be what you get. I'm so surprised I can remember that whole thing. No, that's actually a meme, and I can't believe I recited that whole thing. So whenever the meme is, like, if you ever hear the number 15, it goes along with this guy who does terrible, like, countdowns. He'll just say scary stories or, like, horrible stories, and he'll do them, like, from 1 to 15. And so he talks really funny, and then he says, number 15. So when anybody says number 15, they always say Burger King foot lettuce. I'm going to have to send it to you. It's so funny. Number 15. She asked why I was breathing so heavily. I wasn't. Girl, please. What the heck? That was so dumb. My
because
Burger King foot lettuce was so much better.
Like,
that's not even funny.
A deviated septum. She hadn't breathed through her mouth. Mouth breather.
Okay. I'm going to send something for you. You have to watch this right now. Is someone's foot fungus? I can't believe I did that so good. What you guys know about Burger King foot lettuce? That's all I gotta say.
But as it turns out, that might be what you get. Mystery solved.
Mystery solved. What's so funny about that? Why it was such a meme is because the way he talks. Number 15, Burger King foot lettuce. Because it was just like, what kind of title is that? Burger King foot lettuce. So never go to Burger King because you might get foot lettuce. It turns out that might be what you get.
Wearing shoes, and I'm like, well, I feel like that's still bad. But I think if it was his bare feet, I probably would have barked.
Yeah, still, that's nastier. Even though we know that shoes are gross because they touch everything and anything.
But like the
it's
sweat
like
and
feet
stuff
are kind of nasty.
Yeah,
like thinking about yucky, sweaty Burger King employee feet.
In the back, yeah.
Okay, so that's all my stories.
Okay. So lock your doors and check your windows. Say something about the foot lettuce.
I literally was gonna say it already.
Okay.
Because you never know if number 15 Burger King foot lettuce is outside your door.